Hey, Fat Albert. Merry Christmas. I'm a little late as always. What would you do if I wasn't late? Let's see if I show up on my screen. Let me see. Hope everybody's having a great Christmas. I hope everybody in Tennessee, Nashville especially, is safe, sound, and able to find some peace this morning. Okay, here we go. Holy cow, out of here. Finest. I love no eyebrows again today, guys. I'm not, listen, I'm not even for it. I don't even care. Okay, here we go. I'm having a bad hair day today, but I had on. Let's just do this Christmas thing and rock it out. Because I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it to be over. But all right, guys. Let's talk about what's going on. There's some crazy stuff going on. We need to talk about Merry Christmas, Karma. Aw. Yeah, let me tell you, your name is a perfect model for life. Oh, there's Nikki. Girl, I hope you got my email. Oh, yeah, I sent it. Check your email. Karma in Nashville. Okay, good. Good. Listen, are you safe? Everything safe? Like they're saying FBI is all over the place in Nashville right now. Be safe. Be safe because really the only thing they know is that it was intentional as far as I know. We're going to get some updates right now, but I want you guys to know that I'm not going to just dwell on the negative because that's what they want. Whoever did this wanted this to be the only thing we talk about on Christmas. I'm not going to let it happen in my, you know what I mean? Merry Christmas, Sandra. I'm going to talk about it, facts, and show you guys what you need to see. And then I've got a couple of things to kind of leave you with a smile for Christmas. Well, some of us with a smile for Christmas. So let me just get going. Karen, yes, Karen, an RV, and let me tell you, it was rating. Yeah, it was actually warning people to get away. So, one second, it was crazy. There was officers that saved so many lives. They were blown off their feet, keeping people away from this RV. Let me see here. Oh, 1 second. I want to give you. Yeah, let's do it this way. All right. This is a Gateway Pundit. It says, this was the message that the RV was broadcasting. If you can hear this message, evacuate now. This audio warning broadcasted ahead of the explosion in Nashville. So it's caught the explosion, but apparently there was an emergency warning that was broadcast ahead of the explosion. A warning telling people to evacuate the area was captured. The warning went on for 30 minutes before a countdown began. Right before the massive explosion. That's like torture. Like when you know something bad's about to happen, especially think about what law enforcement was going through. Christmas morning, law enforcement gets called to this crazy situation where this RV is literally saying evacuate the area. There's going to be an explosion. And then all of a sudden a countdown begins 30 minutes before. Or a warning went out and then a countdown began right before the explosion. That's insane. It says this area must be evacuated now. If you can hear this message, here it is. Let's check it out, guys. This area must be evacuated now. Also, this area must be evacuated now. Also, this area must be evacuated now. If you can hear this message, evacuate now. Evacuate now. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting the explosion. I was waiting for the countdown. It's up here, the RV. Evacuate now. Evacuate now. Wow. Why isn't it showing you the big bit? It won't show you guys the big version? Hold on a second. Why won't it show you the big version? That's crazy. I'm sorry. What's going on? One second. All right, 1 second. I don't know why it won't let me show. Let me try this one last time. I don't know what happened. Like as soon as I went to the big screen, it would normally it just follows right along and shows you everything. There is. They have footage of who put the RV there. They know. They've already got suspects. I'm going to show you an FBI thing. Yeah, Karen, that was crazy. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to play this one last time where everybody can see it. Just wait here. You can see the end of the RV right up in here. Wow. That's insane. Reports of gunfire right before the explosion, as well as live ammo exploding inside a vehicle that was on fire. There have been reports of gunfire before and after the explosion, it says. One woman said the countdown warning people of the blast saved her life. If you're in Nashville, at NC5 has one of the residents of a building who made a police call. Oh shit, again, I pressed it, sorry. Lady is saying if the warning wasn't made, she'd be dead.
What you told me and what I know authorities are looking into as well. It was around 5 or 5:30 this morning that you were awakened, and walk me through it to the sound of gunshots initially.
Exactly. Between 5 and 5:30 a.m., we heard very loud gunshots, repetitive, like 5 to 6 shots. I'm not sure, but very loud, and that woke us up.
Excuse me.
We only heard it for a minute, and we just thought maybe, you don't know. You live downtown, you hear things. We've been living there for 15 years. Well, about 5 minutes later, we heard it again. And then I realized, and it was in the same place right outside of our window, basically on the street. So I called 911 for the first time at 5:32 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Was my 911 call. They stated I had heard gunshots.
Morning.
Then I went downstairs. We have a 2-level apartment, and I looked out the shade of my window, which I was a little bit afraid to raise because of the gunshots were so close. And I saw an RV directly out front across the street. And I began to hear a broadcast from, like a recording coming from the RV. And it was saying, this vehicle has a bomb. If you can hear this message, you need to evacuate. And all that was happening. And it was still, that went on for about 30 minutes. And then the RV message changed and said, you have 15 minutes to evacuate. And then we heard 14 minutes. Well, I went downstairs and I looked out on the sidewalk and I saw that police were at both ends. By the way, I did see a police officer earlier between 5:30 and 6 a.m. walk around the RV.
Okay, so
911 told me that police had responded.
So they have responded, and then we'll take it from there then. So what you're saying you heard at some point, and maybe this was something law enforcement had already been alerted to, was some kind of an announcement coming from the RV. I think you mentioned to me that it sounded recorded, a male voice, but you never saw any individual inside the RV.
No, I couldn't see inside the RV. It was parked facing in an opposite direction, so I never saw the windshield. And, I was listening to something that I think you guys just played on the news, and now I'm not as positive it was a male voice, but it was definitely a recorded voice.
A recorded voice, okay.
Consistent, saying, evacuate this area. This vehicle is a bomb. It has a bomb. And then it started the countdown, and the last count we heard.
Wow. Christmas morning. What do you think this is about, guys? In all honesty, I'm going to talk to you because I pulled up something I think we need to talk about. So before we go back to some of the news reports, I pulled up our Homeland Threat Assessment. This was just done October of 2020, guys. All right. Hang on. Let me make sure it goes with me. me just double check and make sure it follows me over. Okay, it did. All right. So this is our Homeland Threat Assessment for October 2020. And basically, I'm not going to go through all the rigmarole because there is tons of threats. You could go through cybercrime threats, social political division. It goes on. But if you get to page 17, these are the newest terrorist threats to the homeland. Ideologically motivated lone offenders and small groups pose the most likely terrorist threat to the homeland, with domestic violent extremists. Think about this. Has ISIS ever given us a 30-minute countdown on a bomb? I can't remember that. They don't warn us. They don't want us to have people to have a chance to get out of the area. I have no belief that this has anything to do with like an ISIS terrorist bomb. I believe this is a homegrown domestic terrorist group, just like back when we had the Weather Underground that was bombing things as a political statement. And as we all know, Antifa has got completely out of control. They have there's no authority that seems to feel that they are dangerous enough to consider. I mean, I know Trump considers them terrorist organization, but they're not doing anything to take that terrorist organization apart like they did many other terrorist organizations. But foreign terrorist organizations will continue to call for homeland attacks, but probably will remain constrained in their ability to direct such plots. Iran will maintain terrorist capabilities through proxies such as Lebanese Hezbollah, and an option to deter the U.S. from taking action in Tehran considers regime threatening. So that's nothing that has to do with what happened today in Nashville. What happened today in Nashville, I truly believe is going to come out to be violent extremist media almost certainly will spread violent extremist ideologies, especially via social media. That encourages violence and influence action within the United States. Violent extremists will continue their efforts to exploit public fears associated with COVID, social grievances, driving lawful protests to incite violence, intimidate targets, promote their violent extremist ideologies. Simple tactics such as vehicle ramming, small arms, edged weapons, arson, rudimentary improvised explosive devices. This was 2 months ago they put this out. This is the threat assessment from 2 months ago. So what happened in Nashville today should not be a surprise to anybody who consistently goes back and looks at what is a threat to our country right now. Or if you just believe CNN, then you're probably very scared of some 9/11 type shit that happened, but that's not the truth at all. I believe you're going to find that at the end of all this was either a lone offender or a small group of domestic violent extremists. Says some okay, so really quickly, how lone offenders could employ more sophisticated means, including advanced or high consequence IEDs, like, I don't know, exploding an RV hooked up with a warning system to create the least amount of human casualties, but just to do damage to what? AT&T and all the local businesses in that area. I bet we're going to find at the end of this, the FBI has already received information prior to this explosion that the businesses, maybe corporations in the area, have already received threats from local extremist groups calling for them to either, donate money. Remember, Black Lives Matter is being sued right now for basically strong-arming small businesses into, agreeing with their stuff, posting Black Lives Matter, donating to Black Lives Matter, giving 15% of their business to black. It's ridiculous, but that's the strong-arming tactic that was being taken in Detroit, and now a civil suit is going on. So this is nothing new, but this is also not ISIS. I've heard that too much this morning. It's not ISIS. So some DVEs have heightened their attention, which is domestic violent extremists, to election or campaign related activities, candidate statements, and policy issues connected to specific candidates, judging from domestic terrorism plots since 2018, targeting individuals based on their actual or perceived political affiliations. So it goes on, and then you see it says, we have demonstrated longstanding intent to target racial, religious minorities, members of the LGBTQ community, politicians, and those they believe to promote multiculturalism and globalism at the expense of the WSE, which is the white supremacist extremist identity. So these are these white supremacist groups that they've been following since 2018. Oops, let me go back one. Sorry. There. And it says white supremacist groups. They've attacked here, and they've actually killed the most right here. In 2018 and 2019. All other domestic violence extremists and homegrown violence extremists are between, right? I mean, it's not that it's any worse or, one or the other. It's just, it's happening. And it's happening a lot here on our own land, on America's soil. It's like a quiet war that we're in against each other. So there's the threat assessment. Hold on. Drink. Let's get back to the actual news of it. All right. So this is obviously in the blast zone, I would say. It says there's 11 pictures, so I'm going to show them to you if you guys want to see them. All right. This is AP, guys. AP News. A law enforcement member walks past the damage from the explosion in Nashville. The building shook in the immediate area and beyond after a loud boom was heard early Christmas morning. Here's where the RV, probably the actual blast. Emergency personnel worked near the scene of the explosion. Yeah, building shook and beyond after a loud boom was heard. I think it's the same message under each. Yeah. Here's some more. Look at the buildings come down, guys, with all the icicles on it. Wow. He did a little damage. He or she did some damage. See, they said there was a car on fire. Check this out, guys. Look behind these firefighters. In some reports, there was reports of gunfire and a car on fire. Or live ammo in a car that was on fire. The live ammo was going off, and they thought somebody was shooting, but that's where it was coming from. Again, why would ISIS or someone that was trying to cause death to Americans put live ammo in a car to go off, and that way there would be nobody actually targeted. They were probably hoping no one at all would be shot. This whole setup seems like it was meant to create the most structural and property damage as they could with the least amount of death attached to it. Now, who does that sound like? To me, that sounds like a libtard group. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm. This sounds like some libtard group trying to get back at the man, but again, looking out for the people and saving people from being killed in the meantime. Oh, hang on, sorry. Yeah, that car is still on fire in the background. Again, the car. Here's the explosion. Here's the bomb-sniffing dog, probably looking for any more explosives around in the area. Wow. Look at the damage to the buildings, guys. Look up here. Like that's Second in Commerce, it says. So black smoke and flames were seen billowing. Restaurants and other establishments known as the heart of Nashville's tourist scene. So this is not just some random area, you guys. This is an area that is known as the heart of Nashville's tourist scene. Someone targeted this purposely to affect the businesses, not create death. Sorry to say. I know it's probably, it doesn't make it any better by any means. It's still a violent act, and it still needs to be handled. But at the same time, I hate to say it, but when we find out the people who did this, we're going to be like, really? Really? You fucking idiots. That's how we're going to feel. Like, are you kidding me? On Christmas morning, this was how you wanted to prove your point. So anyway, 3 people were taken to the hospital for treatment. None were in critical condition. He said people were taken to the department's central precinct for questioning, but declined to give more details. The FBI will be taking the lead, says Joel Siskovic. Federal investigators from the Bureau of ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, were on the scene. The FBI is the primary law enforcement agency responsible for investigating federal crimes such as explosives violations and acts of terrorism. I need to blow my nose. Pardon me. I think it's better for you guys to have to hear me blow my nose than to hear me sniffle through the video. So, anyhow, Fafara? Okay. It was a very loud explosion, says Joseph Fafara. We tried to rationalize it as an earthquake or something, but it was obvious it wasn't an earthquake, he said. You know what? I can't see any messages this way. I hope you guys aren't leaving. Hang on. There we go. All right. Okay, they don't put me. Now we go. Yeah, they'll lose the camera footage. You know they will. There, now I can see the messages. Good to go. All right. So, yeah, once they find out libtards are involved, there's going to be a lot of fuckery. You know that. It felt like a bomb. It was that big, he told the AP. All my windows, every single one of them got blown into the next room as if I had been standing there, it would have been horrible. McCoy says he heard gunfire. Look, McCoy says he heard gun. So remember that, because when this all comes out, I bet you the gunfire thing gets left out. A lot of this is going to get left out. It says he posted videos showing water pouring out of the ceiling of his home, alarms blaring around, and cries of people in great distress in the background. A fire is visible in the street outside. And then I just read everything else to you. There is about 4 cars on fire. I don't know. It was just so hot they caught on fire and the trees were all blown apart. President Trump has been briefed. The U.S. Department Acting Attorney General Jeff Rosen was also briefed. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee said that the state would provide resources necessary to determine what happened and who was responsible. Nashville Mayor John Cooper said the city was lucky that the number of injuries were limited. AP writers Eric Tucker. Okay, there you go. Next. Here, let's see. There's some more here. Close this. Okay. Here's the video. Hang on. Let me show you.
From the scene of that blast as it does happen. So in the next few seconds, we should hopefully see that video loop. But again, this is from Matheson's over on 2nd Avenue, just past Commerce Street there. So pretty close to the site of where the blast happens.
Oh, yeah,
it hits 6:30. You're going to see it in 3 seconds here. Watch very closely as the explosion does happen. Debris flies everywhere. You see like what looks like a boom or a flash of light, and then the explosion followed by a lot of debris. That's just some of the video that we're getting into the newsroom right now from different surveillance cameras in the area. That one from Matheson. As we get more information and more of that video, we'll, of course, bring it to you right here from the News 2 Alert Desk. Guys?
All right, thanks, Josh. Yeah, we've been talking about the city is filled with cameras, and we're going to be seeing more and more of this video as it becomes available, as investigators get hold of it and decide what they can and cannot release as individuals with their own.
Did you hear what he just said? He said when they get a hold of it and they decide what they can and cannot release. They're not going to release everything because they don't want us to know exactly what's going on.
And post a video of what they've seen, like we saw with the doors being blown open in the gentleman's townhome.
Look at that.
There's going to be a lot of.
Can you imagine waking up to this on Christmas morning?
Investigators to use to try to.
And they thought because they gave a 30-minute warning
so if you have anything
to prevent people from dying, that makes a difference at 5:30 in the morning.
All of these videos, the intense sound, the shaking, the screaming, it really does.
Hear it?
Put you right there and give you the perspective.
Sure does.
And you can feel the shaking through the audio that we're playing for you. This is just one of the vantage points. Not only do we have this, what we played you what we think is that gunfire. You know, there's been some speculation and some questions. Was there actually gunfire, or was that a recording that was also being played out of the RV before it exploded?
It was ammunition inside the burning car is what the
Hopefully
AP
at 5
News
o'clock
said.
we'll be able to tell you more. But it is amazing to think on this Christmas morning that 3 people had minor injuries taken to the hospital, and 2 police officers, while they sustained injuries, are both supposed to be okay. One was knocked to the ground. The other has some hearing loss. We are hoping that that is temporary because they were so close to the blast. But it's amazing that we heard from Don Arrows, Metro Police, earlier today that was saying that at this point, no casualties, no one was killed in this blast. We do not know about the person that appears to be in the driver's seat of the RV. We're waiting to hear more about that. But thankfully, you know, not that loss of life that could be with such a massive explosion.
And we're looking
Right,
at this
Karen?
video.
What's the point? They're
and
investigating
as
themselves.
Terrible as this video is, can you imagine what this scene would have looked like if this had been 6 o'clock in the evening next Tuesday?
Look at
When
that.
the streets filled with traffic, when the businesses are filled with people. As terrible and terrible as this day was, it could have been so much worse. You have to just salute the first responders for clearing out these buildings. They did just a terrific job. New information coming in from the mayor. Let's go to Josh Breslow with what the mayor has to say.
Right. So
This
we
is
have
live,
the mayor's
guys,
statement,
up
but we
to
also
date.
got some new information here from the Associated Press. Their sources saying that authorities have found human remains in the vicinity of that explosion here in downtown Nashville, the one we've been talking about, Second and Commerce. Now, AP saying that authorities have found human remains in the vicinity of that explosion site.
Maybe there was a person in that RV after all.
Just coming in from Associated Press sources. As for the mayor, he just tweeted out about a curfew here in the city of Nashville.
I've signed an executive order to issue a state civil emergency proclaimed within it's basically saying that you can't be in that area, and it brings Metro resources to be a responsive effort. Basically, there's a curfew at 4:30 tonight and will be lifted Sunday at 4:30 so that way they can have that area protected with law enforcement.
For the next few days, he says that he has signed Executive Order 12 to issue a state of civil
Karen,
emergency.
you're so right. Isn't it pathetic? And he probably hired some little peon idiots to do it, and they've already got themselves busted. And one apparently got himself blown up.
4:30 p.m. tonight. Yes, that is Thursday. It says Friday, but actually it says Thursday, but it is Friday. 4:30 p.m. tonight, and will be lifted Sunday at 4:30 p.m. So he has the date wrong there, but that will go into effect here in about 11 minutes for that area curfew of 4:30 p.m. starting Friday.
All right, I'm going to pause that, and I'm going to come down and let you listen to what the FBI said. This is the Metro Police Department, but the FBI steps in. This is the first one I saw this morning.
Any of us wanted to spend our Christmas morning, I know, but I'm Don Cochran. I'm the U.S. Attorney here in Nashville, Tennessee. This morning I briefed the Acting Attorney General, Jeff Rosen, on the situation here in Nashville, and he has told me to tell the police chief in Nashville that we are devoting the entire resources of the Department of Justice to help in their investigation. FBI and ATF are taking the lead in this investigation, and I want to turn the stage over first to Assistant Special Agent in Charge Matt Foster of the FBI, and then Special Agent in Charge Mickey French of the ATF to explain some of the resources that the federal government is going to bring to bear on this situation. Matt.
Thank you, Don. The FBI stands with the city of Nashville today in this very tragic Christmas Day event. This is our city too. We live here, we work here, and we're putting everything we have into finding who was responsible for what's happened here today.
Look at
As part of
that.
doing that, there are investigative leads to be pursued. There's also technical work that needs to happen. And we're standing with Metro Nashville Police Department.
I'm not sure, Nikki. I'm pretty sure it's
to bring every resource we can
Nashville,
possibly bring to bear
Tennessee.
to
The
find out
heart
what
of
happened
Nashville,
here today,
Tennessee, I believe, is probably
and to
pretty
bring those
red.
responsible to justice. The investigative leads, I'm sure you
But that's
understand,
just my
not
assumption.
something that we can talk about. As we continue to pursue every tip, I would ask the public to go to www.fbi.gov/Nashville.
Amen, Karen. Because it don't matter, just like I said the other day. Red and blue are the same now. They've always been the same. One party that just pretends to be two.
We need your leads.
If people haven't figured out by this point in time that there is no two-party system, there is no Republican or Democrat, there's a Republicrat, and they are both out for one thing, and that's themselves. And we, the people, need to figure out either a third party, or we need to get rid of both of these motherfuckers and start over. And I believe that day is coming. Karen, oh, she said that stuff about Rich. Yeah, but Nikki Silvers, they found that footage recently. I just did a video on it probably a month ago on Seth Rich's. Oh, I did not just say that name. Anyway, but it was a Gateway Pundit article on the FBI finding his laptop and stuff. They didn't find the footage, but they found his laptop at the FBI after all this time. Yep, and the deep state is all colors.
We need your help. You can also call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Call in, tip information.
This is how they create fear, guys. This is how they create people paranoia and make people stay in their house and be afraid of other people and stay away from other people. This is exactly how they push their narrative of
our hazardous devices school.
It's dangerous out there. Don't go out there.
Nationwide,
COVID mutations,
to help process
explosions, and terrorists.
The ATF, Metro Nashville PD, and the many other partners who were part of this effort that will continue. We will find out what happened here. That's all.
That's right.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Mickey French. I'm the special agent in charge for the ATF Nashville Field Division. ATF is continuing to be a critical partner with the Metro Nashville Police Department, as well as our federal counterparts. ATF responded this morning with several groups and personnel from the Nashville Field Division. We've also activated our national response team. That particular team is made up of specialists as well, certified explosive specialists, chemists, engineers, as well as evidence recovery, interview teams, and so forth. We'll be coordinating that with Metro Nashville Police Department as well as the FBI, and we'll put together a team that is going to collectively work this investigation to the fullest. Our main priority is obviously to keep our Nashville citizens safe and secure, and we'll work jointly with everybody here to do that. Thank you.
All right. Oh, one more.
Good afternoon. I'm going to give you just a quick update. I know Don earlier had mentioned as far as the fire department's role, EMS, we did transport 3 individuals with minor injuries. But right now, what we're doing is with our structural engineers, along with our urban search and rescue, hazmat teams, we're going into the buildings, making sure, number one, that the building is sound and ensuring that there are no other victims or anyone that are there. So a lot of moving parts. Again, my hat goes off to all the teams working together as one unit, and we'll continue to work on until the job is done. So thank you.
Amen. Thank you for your service. All right,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the update as we know it.
Let's keep going. I got a couple other things I want to show you. This is it. Here we go.
Pedestrians, folks who live in this area kind of walk in, taking pictures, really somber, just kind of shocked, really in disbelief that this is actually happening, not only in Nashville,
She's
but
got
also
some gorgeous eyebrows,
you
don't
can
she?
see,
Check
when
that
we
out.
checked in an hour ago, we were a bit closer to the scene. We have since had to move back. Police are intentional about keeping people and crews away from what they seem to believe is the epicenter of all of this. They're still trying to figure out exactly what happened. We are still seeing officers with dogs around.
They're looking for more
I'm going to step out of the way here and show you what the courthouse looks like. As you can see, this is yellow tape, just completely blocked.
You guys, they got how many times have we heard over this last year about certain federal courthouses being overtaken and attacked? I'm telling you, this is going to come out to be a domestic terrorist group, and they're going to have ties to Antifa and BLM.
Off the courthouse
Unfortunately.
here. When we first arrived here onto the scene, we
Radical
tried to get
versions of
right
them.
here
How about
onto
that?
this platform here so that we could get an elevated look at exactly what was going on 2nd Avenue. We were told by several officers over intercom to please evacuate this area. At that point, they just did not know exactly what was going on. They were still looking for the possibility of any second or secondary explosives. Of course, we do not have any confirmation otherwise on that, but I can tell you that the police presence is still strong here. We have state troopers, of course, FBI here, Metro Police, fire also here. Every once in a while we see first responders or law enforcement come in with their flashing lights on, with their sirens going through. We are not getting a whole lot of update on this side of the scene, but of course we are keeping you updated as we learn exactly what's going on here. Again, as you just mentioned, there are a lot of people here who are just shocked that this is happening, especially on a Christmas morning that early. But a lot of folks are really kind of thankful that there are no fatalities and really just kind of in awe of what they are calling that Christmas miracle. So we'll keep you updated. Back to you.
All right. And let's, thank you.
So it looks like she's by the federal courthouse. Okay, so there's that one. All right, I got a couple more guys, and then we'll get to, I got a little bit of piece of good news before we go. Right? So here, there we heard the warning, the evacuate now. This is Yahoo. Let's see if they have anything in it that it says whoever did it did give fair warning. Are you fucking kidding me? Pardon my language. Sorry, it's Christmas. Are you kidding me? Don't say, if someone said that, you got to be insane. Listen to this, guys. It says, Betsy Williams, the owner of the Melting Pot, a restaurant across the street from the explosion, told Tennessean, part of the USA Today network, that guests reported the RV was stationed there since Thursday night. Williams, who lives in a loft apartment on the 3rd floor of the restaurant building, said, "4:30 a.m. Guys, this is a witness who lives right above where this RV had been parked since Thursday night. After multiple rounds of gunshots, Williams said she called 911. She heard a warning that came from the RV parked outside her building saying, evacuate now, there's a bomb, this vehicle will explode. And then the voice started a 15-minute countdown. Her family headed to Nissan Stadium about a half a mile away. When they didn't hear an explosion, they headed back. That was when they saw a fireball fly over the AT&T building on 2nd Avenue. And then she says, whoever did it did give a fair warning. What? Oh, God. Yeah, Karen, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's a lot of places that they're not even, Nikki, they don't even know if the structures are sound enough for some people to go back in. Yeah, there's a lot of buildings. Look, 3 people hospitalized, none in critical, but at least 20 buildings were damaged in some way. Oh, here we go. All right, never. Hang on. News. Let me see what it says. Get my thing here. All right, hold on a second. I'm at an explosion. So it was about 6:30 this morning at 166 2nd Avenue in North downtown. Sound of the explosion could be heard miles away. It says plumes of smoke filled the air along which is typically a busy street that intersects with Nashville's famed tourist section, Lower Broadway. Alarms inside several buildings were heard going off, and water poured into some buildings, causing structural damage and breaking windows. Trees lining 2nd Avenue were blackened from the incident. AT&T internet and phone services reportedly disrupted nationwide, but mainly throughout Tennessee because the explosion took place near an AT&T service facility. Flights out of Nashville International were halted because of telecommunication issues associated with the incident. The airport said issues are expected to be resolved by 3 p.m. And the Nashville Convention, listen to this, is very important, guys. The Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation announced a $10,000 contribution to the reward in bringing information that will come to an arrest in this case. If you have any information about this explosion, there so far is at least a $10,000 reward. Governor Bill Lee said in a statement that the state would provide the needed resources to determine what happened and who was responsible. And then it says one more event in Nashville's 2020. That's not even funny. Okay. Oh, this is how the map was created. Okay, hang on. Hang on, let me scroll down. East Bank. I'm just looking to see if we can see where it is. Sorry, East Bank, Woodland. There's the Nissan Stadium, so it's down the road from here. I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, Trump's been briefed, as I said. Blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. This is what I want to show you. This is the Buck McCoy stuff from Facebook, guys. Look at that. Listen to the screams, y'all. Wow. Imagine what people were thinking waking up to that. Wow.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Wow. All these buildings have apartments up top of the restaurants and stuff, guys. So all of them, even though whoever thought that they were giving out warnings, who's going to hear your warning on Christmas Eve, or Christmas morning after being up all night on Christmas Eve and at 5:30 in the morning? Who's going to hear your fucking warning? Many people did not hear your warning. And now, as you can see, that's what they woke up to. That's the horrendous sight that people saw seconds after their entire lives changed on Christmas morning. Thank you, whoever fucking pulled this shit. Mind my F words. Look at the water pouring down in the building, guys. Is there, Karen? I thought it would be like a Richie area. Hear the ammo going off in the car that's burning? Hear it? Hang on. Listen. Hear it? Ammo going off. Now watch. He's going to pan over and look. In the burning car. Nobody was shooting at anybody, as they are trying to say. There was ammo going off. It was in the burning car. Guys, they also have found human remains close to the area of the explosion, meaning there may have been someone in the RV that was planning this whole thing. Police were seen walking around the RV when the warning system was still at a half an hour. Okay, hold on.
Oh, God. Good morning, Nashville. Building's on fire, Cindy. I told you. Oh, God. Good morning, Nashville. Building's on fire, Cindy. I told you. Oh, God. Good morning, Nashville.
Oh, sorry. What one's playing? Oh, my arrow's gone. Gotta give me a minute, guys. God. Of course, I'm buffering. God. Come on. I can't stop it either. Give me 1 second. Oh, there we go. I can't. Uh-oh. Give me a second, ladies and gents. What is going on? It's kind of taken over my. Okay. I gotta try to shut this off. As soon as I get an arrow, I'm clicking on it. Don't you worry. Come on. I think it'll go now. Hold on. Bingo. Wow. This is taking a long time. Hold on. Come on. I think maybe because I got a storm coming my way again. Here we go. There we go. I'm back. Let me see here. Okay. Myself up. There we go. All right. So let's try now that we're all good. No, girl, I'm upstate. I'm waiting for it to happen. New York City, it'll give Cuomo and de Blasio all the. Oh boy, I'm buffering. I'm gonna listen, guys. Bear with me. I'm gonna reset my thing, and I might go black for a second, but don't leave. It'll come right back up. It takes about 30 seconds. Bingo. I'm a champ. All right, guys. There we go. All right. I want to finish this. Every time StreamYards, I'm telling you, this is why I will not update and go to premium StreamYards. Because if I can't even get a decent version, one single live with StreamYards without having to go over and over again like this, like I don't want to have to edit. That's why I do this. I don't like to edit. I like to talk. So, boy, my hair, hang on. There we go. Oh, that's still pretty bright, isn't it? There we go. I'm looking awful like Bangsy. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's try this again the right way. Now. Oops. How did I do it? Did I do it? Yep. Okay, I did it with me next to you. Okay. Boy, that's still bright though, isn't it? Let me turn that back off. There we go. All right. What the hell? Why is it showing that? Hold on a minute. Okay, okay. I looked over and it was like watching some news thing. Massive downtown Nashville explosion. Dire warning came from the RV. We talked a little bit about it, but let's hear what this guy says. Video unavailable, cannot be played. I wonder why. There was no immediate evidence of shooting, but officer alert, yeah, but we heard that. The bomb squad was en route when a significant explosion happened about 30 minutes later. The voice started a 15-minute countdown. Officers were conducting door-to-door checks, redirected a man walking his dog, and then the forced explosion knocked an officer to the ground. 3 people had injuries. It says, we will find out who did this, Special Agent Matt Foster. They keep bringing up AT&T, guys. That I'm going to look a little bit more into that, how many threats and stuff have been against AT&T recently. There's been quite, I mean, a lot of corporations have had a lot of threats. Wow. Here's some pictures. I'm going to have to save a lot of, because like right now I can't go through them and notice things like I would notice them. Car on fire. See, they keep talking about the car being on fire. The RV's in pieces, but there's at least three cars that are completely burned up. Look at all the glass and water. You can tell this was a fancy area, but the problem is all these are apartments up here. All of those. These are ATF agents. The Johnny Cash Museum's right there. Look at that. Look how high up that window blew out. All the way up there. Sobro building. This is from the other, I think like further away, there's Hooters. They're going to find out. They're going to end up starting to put out some CCTV footage of somebody parking that RV there Thursday night. Because that lady said that RV's been parked there since Thursday night. What the hell is that? Fire truck stage. Oh, okay. It's crazy. What is that? Must be like an art thing. I'm so glad no one was hurt badly. Look at this. This entire side of the building's blown out. Windows all blown out. All of them. All along there. Wow. All right, so there's that. I need to turn my heater on. I'm cold. This is a fair warning again, guys. Notice they keep bringing this up. This is where the narrative starts to build. This is where they start to build their little repeat on every single channel sheep speech that you start repeating to your family and friends. And then, next thing you know, it's not a big deal. Check this out. Betsy Williams, yet again. They couldn't find anybody else to interview. They got her story again in the Tennessean about how they gave us a fair warning. They gave us a fair warning.
Lucid Spark is the virtual whiteboard you need to bring your best ideas to life. It's simple, visual.
Good morning, Nashville. Building's on fire, Cindy.
We saw that one. Andrew Carr, who's staying in the Viridian Apartments on 4th Avenue and Church Street, said he heard what was like a giant thunderclap and saw a huge fireball, describing it as wide as the building itself. Residents in the apartment building, he said, have been put on lockdown. The owner of the nearby Nashville downtown hotel told the Tennessean guests were evacuated to the Nissan Stadium for shelter. Oh, we played that one. I'm trying to get to the ones we didn't play. Here we go. All right, that was the last one on here. Let's skip over. Okay, now I don't know how many of my few viewers, oh my goodness, I got actually quite a few more people left here. You guys actually came at the end of all this because in all honesty, other than the threat assessment itself, which I think everybody should go check out. It was out in October 2020. Check it out. Homeland Threat Assessment, October 2020. Yes, all these are threats, okay? But what just happened today, go to page 17 and read because it's going to sound exactly like what just happened in Tennessee today. I'm sorry. These are unfortunately domestic terrorists. These are people who think they're proving some political point by doing what they're doing. And so, President Trump has told the White House staff to ignore any mentions of packing the White House for departure. Do you hear me? He has told all staff, ignore any mentions of packing your shit. You're not going anywhere. Merry Christmas. He knows something we don't know. Ho, 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 ho. I know I'm going to lose a couple viewers right now, but it's okay. I love you all anyway. I'm sorry. I believe in the Constitution. I believe in our justice, our system. I believe that the reason our forefathers our founders and our forefathers, the way they created this Constitution was so that power-hungry, corrupt politicians who got so out of control, they forgot what they were there for. They abused and cheated and nail scraped their way to the top, would not be allowed to gain that power and destroy America. And for over 200 years, that has worked. And we will continue to follow the Constitution when it comes to how we do our elections. So here's the story real quick. Gateway Pundit. President Trump has told White House staff, ignore the prior memo that went out about packing to and leaving the White House. He told his staff to ignore it. The far-left New York Times reported the president is not planning on leaving the White House anytime soon. On Tuesday, White House officials sent an email to staff members about departure procedures before the new administration begins. On Wednesday, a new email went out saying, please disregard the below message. Updated information will be shared in the coming days. Merry Christmas! January 6th is going to be such a big day, guys. I really want to be in Washington. I'm sorry. I mean, I know it's going to be hectic as hell, but that's where I want to be. It's going to be so awesome to see it. It's going to be once in a lifetime to see that many people out fighting we put these people in office. These are our elections. It is our constitution, our process, and therefore we have to be there to fight for it. Quickly. Remember how I did in my live yesterday a quick bit about Mike Pence and the acting secretary at the Pentagon, Chris Miller? He made a comment in his speech about how important Mike Pence was in a very serious military operation that had recently occurred, or what? Okay, well, I'm not sure if that had to do with the retrieval of the servers from Germany, which was a military operation in which we actually lost soldiers and CIA, or if they're talking about Mike Pence must do this, President Trump repeats. Operation Pence Card, urging his VP to act on the fraudulent election. If you understand the process and you understand what has to happen next, many experts believe Vice President Mike Pence has the duty. Let's show you this, okay? Oh, there goes one later. Oh, sorry. This is what the vice president's duty is, okay? Vice President Pence, will he step in and throw out electoral college picks that are based on fraudulent results and ask the state legislatures to step in? Some experts believe Vice President Pence has the duty to throw out, it says tomorrow, which I don't think, it says Ivan Raiklin has studied the Constitution and found something absolutely fascinating. He's reporting that a peaceful, constitutional, lawful resolution to the situation we are in is at hand and may begin tomorrow. America, Mike Pence must do this to defend our Constitution from our enemies, foreign, China, Russia, Iran, and domestic. Big tech censorship, MSM censorship, corrupt officials at the federal, state, and local levels. Let him know. Check it out. This is the process. So this is the memorandum for the president, but it says subject, Operation Pence Card. Background, the U.S. Constitution and U.S. Code prohibit Vice President Michael R. Pence from receiving, quote unquote, electoral votes from 6 fraudulently certified states. On December 23rd, the VP will notify each Secretary of State which certified for Biden where the fraud occurred that he hasn't received any certificates of legally appointed electors, quote unquote, or their votes because of the F word that I can no longer say on YouTube. The VP further requests that secretaries of those states and relevant district judge send the certificates to of legally appointed electors and their votes based upon non-F-word elections that did not violate laws passed by state legislatures to him. Guess what day, guys? Before what? January 6, 2021. I gotta be there. January 6th is such an important day for us. We'll never forget it. It's gonna go down in history. Talks about an analysis of why the president of the Senate cannot receive legally insufficient state electors. It goes on to talk about how he is not only duty bound to request that states send certificates and lists that were appointed in a manner that the state legislature directed as soon as possible. He is the sole plenary power that has the authority to make this determination. And what do you think Mike Pence is going to do? And this is a sample letter of what Mike Pence is going to be sending to those states. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, it says. It just basically says the papers received by the president of your Senate are not certificates of votes or lists by electors. Each state shall appoint in such a manner of the legislator thereof may direct a number of electors. The electors of your state were not appointed in a manner that blank, Nevada, for example, state legislator directed, because the manner in which your state's election was administered was marred with violations of laws passed by your respective state's legislature. That included the F word that I can no longer say on YouTube, public corruption, and foreign influence and manipulation of the electoral process as detailed in Exhibit A. Exhibit A includes evidence, documents, memos showing how your state constitution and election statutes were violated. Additionally, are copies of pending litigation and other pending administration actions and audits that will further vitiate the results of the election. The federal executive branch will provide further evidence of election F-word and irregularities to your state as it is obtained. And it goes on. So, it's not over yet. Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a great night. New Year's. We're doing a big New Year's party on here live, 2 hours. So, and as I said before, don't. I haven't taken out of the description yet. Don't use that PayPal, guys. I'm not getting anything. I've not received anything from PayPal. I've not received anything from YouTube yet. Though YouTube claims I am going to finally get my super chat money soon. However, this is the easiest way for you to help out with my content. Right here, I get it instantly. I can tell you I got it before I get off the live, and you don't have to worry about whether or not I got your donation. You can scan it with your QR code. You don't have to do anything. All right, have a wonderful night. I love you all, and I will see you soon.